Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings! Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. We are reunited, recording a few days late. It's Sunday night instead of Thursday night. It didn't really work out last week for any of us. Elaine was working, Garret were out of town, and I was not feeling well, so I was going to get somebody to fill in, but I wasn't feeling well myself, so we decided just to reschedule. I hope your trip went well, Garret. How was it?
It was good. Actually, last week my mother came in, and so I had last week
before that you were away. Yep.
Yes, week before I was in New York City. Last week my mom came in for the weekend and left this morning. Just wanted to enjoy some, mother and son time. Some good quality time.
Yeah, that's nice.
In SF, so we had some fun for sure.
Is she still in Texas?
Yeah, she's in Texas. Okay. So just doing her thing.
That's good. Good.
So. Whew, tired.
It has been so hot here. I don't know what it's been like in California. I've heard that actually it's not so bad over there, which is kind of reverse roles here, but it was hitting close to 100 today and yesterday.
Do you see that?
That's a cool right 60. Now. Oh my gosh.
60 degrees Fahrenheit.
10 at night and it's 89 right now.
That sounds like Texas, actually.
It was 98, almost maybe 99 earlier today.
Goodness.
A lot of people are suffering from these heat waves. And
I heard the heat waves throughout the whole country is getting really rough. Even in Dallas, where I grew up, like the highs are like 104s and 105s. And that's uncommon over there. It's super duper hot right now. So guys,
Europe too. I heard Europe is really bad. They are not equipped for it at all for this kind of heat.
Yeah, they don't have like built-in AC in a lot of their buildings. A lot of aging infrastructure over there. They don't know how to cope with it. So drink plenty of water, stay indoors if like most of the time. All right, if you need to go outside, don't be outside for too long, and wear sunscreen. Let me tell you. Because I mean, for you and me, I definitely need to wear sunscreen like all the time.
I definitely do too. Garret, yesterday, even though it was so hot, I did baby goat yoga in the morning. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Mean?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, so it's outdoors and you're in this like enclosed fencing with all of these baby goats. Like there were two kinds. The smallest ones were 3 weeks old. They were like little pygmy goats.
Oh my goodness.
And then other like tiny baby goats. And you do yoga and the goats run around you and they can jump on you. They go on your back. I have a picture with some of the goats on my back. You got to hold them and pet them. I was doing more baby goat petting and loving than yoga. But it's a good excuse to play with baby goats. So that was my big adventure of the past week, baby goat yoga.
That sounds like a really good excuse to hang around with some baby goats.
It was really fun. I definitely encourage it. If there is baby goat yoga where you live, even if you've never done yoga before, it was more like stretching. Like there wasn't a whole lot of yoga going on.
You just stretching the arms and you're just petting the little goats off to the side. That sounds so cute.
But they were so nice. They let us take pictures with the goats on us. It was so cute. But since it's been so hot, I have been trying to stay indoors and play games for as much as I can. I finished up my review for Live Alive, which I feel like after this happens every single time I finish a review game and get it published. I feel like I have like a mini gaming burnout where like I just don't want to pick up another game just because I played so much for the review and like
I totally understand.
Yeah. So I finished that up. What a good game. Check out my review.
Good.
I'll put it in the show notes. I know a lot of people are going between Live Alive and Xenoblade 3 because that's coming out this upcoming week. And I definitely get that. But don't write off Live Alive. If you have any interest at all in like these 90s square JRPGs, it's not like Chrono Trigger. It's not like Final Fantasy. It's not like any other JRPG that I've played. But it has that same kind of charm and nostalgic feel.
Yeah.
And the writing is so good and it's so beautiful. And the way that it's split up into the different scenarios, each one takes about 2-3-ish hours to finish. You can play all of these bite-sized stories that are very standalone from each other, put it down for a little while, play something else, and then come back to it without having to remember what this coherent story is. You can finish each chapter in like 1-2 sittings, depending on how long.
Oh, that's nice, actually.
Yeah. The shortest one took me maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
The longest one maybe took me like 3.5 hours just because I got stuck and didn't know what to do next. And then once you finish all of those 7 chapters, an 8th chapter unlocks, and that's a lot more. I feel like that's a lot more reminiscent of like the 90s JRPGs, like the more mature ones that we know. There's some dark themes, some dark things happen in that storyline. And then once you beat that chapter, a final chapter opens. So those first 7 you can do in any order that you want. There's no suggested order. I know a lot of people were asking me, is there like a suggested order that you should play them? No, you pick which one's most interesting. You play through each one. Then you unlock that 8th chapter. And then once you're done that, you unlock the final chapter that brings everything together. And it was
cool.
The whole game, just like I said, the writing, there's some humorous parts. There's a lot of cursing. I was surprised at how much cursing and like some dirty jokes. There's some dirty jokes in there too. But each chapter is also just so different from each other. And some of them really play on like some stereotypes, like the far future one has themes from like the movies Alien and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like it's pretty similar to both of those. There is one chapter that is basically just Street Fighter, and there's hardly any story. It's just combat after combat after combat. But I really recommend it if you want to try something, that's a really good JRPG that's just something a little bit different. Try to find time for this one. You will not regret it.
I mean, it sounds like a good bite-sized RPG that we've been asking for a really long time. We've been having this mantra, with the Japanese RPG. It needs to be 70 to 100 hours to even, be decent or whatever. And it's really refreshing to hear this type of RPG getting a lot of love, getting a lot of attention, and being like remade for the Switch and people loving it, including you. So
the music is so good too. And like, I know that if you're listening to this and you're put off by the length of JRPGs, like you just said, Garrett, like 70, 80, 90, 100-hour JRPGs, and you don't have time for that because you're a busy person and you work and you have a family. I don't like long JRPGs like that, but this will take you maybe like 20, 25 hours to finish. And like I said, because of the structure of it, you can play a chapter and not pick it up for some time and it doesn't matter. The music is so good. Something that I feel like I knew this at some point, but I had forgotten. There's this one theme that is recurring in all of the chapters. It is the boss theme. It's called Megalomania. And that was the song that inspired Toby Fox's Megalovania that he used in the song or in the game Undertale. And it definitely has a lot of the same vibes, and it is so catchy. The music, the soundtrack is just so good. Highly recommend. Even if you don't play this game, go look up the soundtrack because it's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite out of the 7 chapters? Not the 8th and 9th, but
people have asked me that. Yeah, I only want to focus on the first 7 because then it gets spoilery if it goes into the 8th and final. I'm gonna pick 2.
Pick 2. That's okay. Yeah.
The far future chapter, even though this one I think is the one that probably took me the longest because it doesn't really prompt you what to do next. You're kind of walking, you're a little robot called Cube, and it reminds me of WALL-E, even though it's a sphere.
Yeah.
And his name is Cube.
Spherical. Yeah.
And yeah. And you're on the spaceship in the far future, and you kind of have to walk around and figure out, talk to the people, interacting with them. You're kind of learning about their relationships. And then, like, some bad things start happening, and you have to figure out, like, oh my God, like, what am I supposed to do in the situation? And it's very much like dialogue and interaction that drives the plot forward. There's no combat at all until the boss fight at the end.
Oh, wow.
Which was a little bit weird to
kinda
me
crazy.
because most of the other ones had combat. But that one didn't. But it was really good because the story and characters were just pretty interesting. And I think it had like a good lesson at the end. And then my other favorite one was the Wild West chapter. Interestingly, that one also doesn't have a lot of fighting or combat, which doesn't mean I don't like the combat. Like, I really like the fighting style in this game. The battle mechanics are so cool. The Wild West one was very cool because it's like more of a timed one. Like, it's a timed mission and there's multiple ways to do it. And if you don't do it right, you fail and have to do it over again. But I did it on my first try, so it wasn't super hard, but like the pressure, I guess, was like exciting.
Oh, okay.
And it also had the funniest dialogue too.
Cool. I'll probably be picking it up later because I have just a
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't even have a backlog of games. I have a backlog of role-playing games on Switch specifically. Like, I got Triangle Strategy, I got Fire Emblem, Three Hopes, or whatever it's called, and then now I got Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming up.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Xenoblade, it's going to take people a while. I know that's going to be like the big RPG game that everyone's going to be sinking a ton of hours into. Live Alive will probably go on sale at some point. Keep an eye on it. If you don't get it, soon, if you don't get it before Xenoblade, keep an eye on it. Look at it this holiday.
I'm sure it'll knock down to $50, even $40.
It's 50. It's not 60. It's 50 right now.
It's a $50 game. Cool.
Yep. So it might be even cheaper come holiday. So yeah. So other than that, still on my retro journey, have you ever heard of the game For Whom the Frog Bell Tolls?
You mentioned it to me the last time I was here, that you were playing this game.
Did I start it last time? I couldn't remember.
Yes. Yeah, you started it last time.
I'm almost done it.
Yeah.
I was just playing it a little bit earlier today. It's a lot of fun. I think that there are definitely some things that age it. And this game never came to the West. This was another Japanese exclusive. I would love to see the Live Alive treatment on this game, where Nintendo takes this game, remakes it in like the Link. Somebody was saying to me earlier that the Link's Awakening style would be perfect for it because it's already on the same engine as the original Link's Awakening. So I feel like the charm would still, it would be similar. It would be the same. And maybe fix up some of those annoyances. The battle mechanics aren't that great. There's some things where I have to talk to everybody, go back and forth a bunch of times. Those are annoying. Those could use some quality of life updates. But I think the whole premise of you're a boy, but you can turn into a frog or even a snake, and you have to use those three things to navigate all these environmental puzzles and even combat puzzles and things like that. And I'm really enjoying my time with it. I'm glad that I'm playing this little, game that is overlooked because people just don't know about it.
Oh, it's a Japanese exclusive. Like you have to fan translate it and then emulate it. I'm sure most people don't know what this game is.
Most people aren't going to do that exactly. So this would be a cool one to get like a modern remake of some kind, like really just overhaul it, and because I think there's a lot of redeeming qualities to it. It's cute. It's a very cute game.
Who developed it? Do you know?
Nintendo. It's a Nintendo developed game. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know, cool. And that's what I mean. A lot of people don't know that. It's so cool. So cool. I could talk more about that game, but you can tune in my stream. I'm gonna
just go to her stream, guys. Yeah, she's almost
I'm
gonna
finish it tomorrow. And then I'm not gonna talk about it, but I've been playing Stray. I'm not that far yet because I had kind of that burnout after Live Alive, but I want to take my time with it. I don't want to rush through it. I'm definitely gonna play it more than once, because shout out to Yarden Angel. He gifted me a Steam copy so that I can
that's so
play it with
nice.
mods later. I'm gonna try to get a mod that looks like my own cat. So that's what I'm playing over on PlayStation right now. Me and Haley are talking about doing a spoiler cast on
Oh, that would be so
PSXP.
cool.
So once
Mhm.
we're done with it, because she said she's not a big fan of it so far, but I think
Wow.
it's so cute and I'm loving it and I'm enjoying doing cat things. And I think we're gonna drag Delvin into it. I don't even know if he playing it. Do you know? I don't even know.
Well, Delvin tries to play everything, then he plays the end result. He doesn't play anything. Like
So
he barely trudges along. So a
if you want to
typical
hear a
gamer.
spoiler cast about Stray with me, Haley, and probably Delvin, keep an eye out
Yeah.
for that, because I'm gonna make them do it.
I see a lot of people on Twitter posting their cat videos, like
Mhm.
cats trying to
Cats
claw at the
love
screen.
it. Yeah,
It looks super cute.
I
I'm
know.
glad this kind of game is out there. Hopefully they make a dog game similar
They
like this.
should. They
It
should.
would be
Well,
super cool.
so I wrote an article about how there's like a real cat voice actor for the cat, because there's a meow button, and of course all the cats make meowing sounds, and there's obviously a cat that played that voice. So I wrote an article about that, and I tweeted at Jeff Keighley and said, "Hey Jeff Keighley, like, will this cat be eligible for the best performance award at the the Game Awards this
That's
year?"
awesome.
And he replied and said, "Eligible." So we need to
Oh
get this cat
dang.
an award at the Game Awards this
Yeah,
year.
we're gonna vote for him if we're able to.
If
Like
he gets nominated, I will
100%.
vote for this cat.
Yeah. It looks really neat. I like the beyond the cat, it's just like the way the game is presented. It's
Yes.
futuristic, it's neon.
It's
I'm
so
really
pretty.
digging it. I love the cat's movements in the game too. It's like very natural, like and
Mhm.
like going up in different obstacles and everything. So I am definitely paying attention to Stray. I won't buy it day one. Probably wait for a
Yeah,
sale. And yeah, I'm interested
you should
in
be.
this
It's
game. So,
fun.
mhm.
What have you been up to lately?
A lot of different things.
I can
Yeah,
see
ever
that.
since about 2.5 weeks. I just real quick. I went to New York City for about a week. Not last week, but the week before. And I met up with one of my very good friends, Joe, after work. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's
And so
awesome.
he does a lot of streaming, a lot of retro games. And he lives in New York City, and we just hit up and had some drinks together. And he was a super cool guy. Check him out at twitch.tv/Joe After Work. He does a lot of
J
cool
O,
retro
right?
games.
J O.
Jo
Mhm.
After Work. Yeah. So hung out with him. I did a lot of gaming when I was over in New York City. First off, I wrapped up Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so now I'm on the standalone DLC, Torna, the Golden Country. And so this is a prequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, set 500 years in the past, where they reference a lot of different plots or points in the plot in the original game. And it's good so far. It's like they do a really good job of streamlining the combat a little bit more than Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where there's
Okay.
set. Yeah, so in 2 you have to have certain elements to do chain attacks, and so it's very hard because it's very segmented to do a combo attack or whatever. Whereas Torna is like, it doesn't matter what element you use, you'll just do a chain attack and you're good to go. So it's much more streamlined, it's much more fluid. I really like the characters so far, and I think playing this game after Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the way to go, because the characters, you know how they end up, and it's like, this is interesting where they're set right now and what they're
Ah.
gonna be in 2.
Yeah.
Um, so it's interesting to see some of those, especially the important blades in Torna, because the way it goes is that once your driver dies, the blade goes back into the core and can be awakened by another driver, and their memories get wiped off. Like, it's
Oh,
the same personality or whatever, but the memories get wiped off or whatever.
okay.
But anyways, the story is pretty good. I'm at the point where it's they require you to do side quests in this game
Oh,
compared to the
really?
first one. Yeah, so there's like a community level overall for the game, and they're like, oh, you need to be community level 2 and level 3, and I'm like, you're literally telling me to do side quests. This is
Right.
interesting compared to previous installments of the game. But yeah, I'm still trudging along. I'm about 11 hours into the game. I just set the difficulty to easy just because I don't want to
Just to help you
deal
get
with.
through it.
Yeah, it's so like I was doing fine on normal, then I just got destroyed on one boss, and I'm like, nope, not doing this. I'm not spending time to figure this out. Let me go on easy and I was like 10 levels ahead. And I'm like, what is going on with this game?
Yeah.
So I just set it to easy. I really like the characters in here though. I like the story, and that's why I play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I can't wait for 3 though. I heard the combat has me really excited. Much different than Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 1. Looked much improved.
Okay.
So I really can't wait for it. And then of course I play my childhood game, Rebecca, so much.
Yeah.
Yes. I finally played a Nintendo Switch Online game from beginning to end.
Love it.
Pokemon Puzzle League, which is like one of the latest additions to the N64 game, and it's basically the Tetris Attack game in a Pokemon skin. But it's not like regular Pokemon, it's the Pokemon anime. It is
Anime.
literally
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. When I saw people posting pictures, like screenshots, there was like Ash in it and stuff.
Mhm.
There's like a whole anime opening to the game.
Yeah, there's a whole anime opening to the game. Ash Ketchum, all the voice acting's kind of there. I don't know if they use other actors, but they have the voice acting in there. You face everyone that you do in the first season of Pokemon. So from Brock all the way to Blaine and Giovanni, Team Rocket, even Tracy and Richie is in here. So I think it's kind of cool.
Probably should play this. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very easy, like, one run through will probably take you once you get the game down, like you understand it, maybe 30 minutes. It's not long at all. Yeah.
Okay.
And easy mode is pretty easy. I'm playing it on hard right now, going through like the hardest playthrough, and I think there's one more harder difficulty unlocked afterwards. But basically, Tetris Attack, what you do is you flip 2 squares at a time, and you're trying to match at least 3 in a vertical line or horizontal line. And so, but you really want to get combos. And so you want to get more than 3. So you set up for 4 and for 5. And then once you get that down, you want to make sure you're placing your blocks correctly. So once the blocks that disappear after you matches again. So the blocks go down and it matches again. And so if you do that kind of combo, it makes it really harder for the opponent. The opponent gets these kind of blocks on top of their pieces. And so the object of the game is like get their kind of stacks of blocks all the way to the top and break.
Okay.
And so once it breaks, you win the game.
Okay.
And then as time goes, the blocks go up and you add more rows to it.
And then it gets stressful because it goes faster, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a button where you can increase like the level of blocks like faster in order to get more blocks into your row, and so you can do more combos. So it's a mix and match type of deal. Very fast paced. I really enjoyed it as a kid a lot. So yep, there's that. Go play Pokemon Puzzle League. It's super fast, and on easy mode, it's pretty easy. So you can get through it pretty quickly.
Cool. Check it out.
Yeah. Also, I've been playing this game that's been distracting me from other games, and it's really addictive, and that's Slay the Spire.
I've heard that's addictive.
Oh my goodness. I once I go through a run, I cannot back out. Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck building game.
Right up your alley.
Right up my alley. You pick a character. That character has like this certain kind of strategy with their cards. And in the beginning, your cards are just attack and block. And then you have monsters on the field and you just attack the monsters with some cards. and block when like for the next turn or whatever. As you go through the game, though, you get more cards. You win, like after you win a battle, you get a card that's supposed to be in your deck. And so like after a few battles or so, you have your own kind of customized deck for your character. And then as you go, and it's just like, you just pick which route to go after every battle. You can have a treasure on the next event, or you can do a random event that can trade in certain bonuses or whatever. So that's been really fun. And so the object of the game is you just kind of go through this endless run until you run out of health points. And it's super addictive because there's just a lot of good strategy.
Was this your first time playing it, or had you played it before?
I played it before.
Okay.
I had it on Game Pass, but I picked it up on Switch because it's perfect on Switch.
Okay.
I would say it's perfect on Switch, even on like mobile platforms. It's on Android, it's on iPhone, it is on, so it's and it's touchscreen enabled. So it's very easy to use the touchscreen on Slay the Spire. You just like kind of flick the cards into the board, and there you go. So it's been very, very fun on Switch. So there's that. I've been playing Golden Sun. Have you been playing Golden Sun, Rebecca? Huh?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been playing Golden Sun.
I've been playing Golden Sun.
I know, I'm failing because I feel like here are the thing, like, okay, there's no excuse because I'm not working right now, so I should have time to play it. One, Elaine not being here to talk about it with us. Number two, the one time that you told us, like, oh, you weren't really feeling it that much. I don't even think I've played it since then. I might have picked it up once since then because that wasn't motivating me. I might have played it once since then.
So I figured out what I was doing wrong. Like how I got
Are you
stuck.
feeling better? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better. Like I'm going through the game now. I'm glad I picked up a guy just to have a 1 or 2 sentence to tell me you can do this. I'm like, I did not realize that. And
wait, is it spoilery to say what it was in case I do that wrong?
Sure, no, I can tell you. I don't think it's spoilery at all. I just didn't know you could do it.
Okay.
You get to a point in the game where you go through this kind of forest and there's these logs. I did not know you can move these logs around. Like it looked like they just looked like blocks to me, right? It looked like I cannot move this or anything, but you can actually move the logs one direction because the way you could just roll logs left to right or up or down. So that's pretty much it. So I didn't know I could do that. Now I know. There is a puzzle behind it, so it's pretty good. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it though after I figured that part out. So I'm not gonna.
But maybe while everybody's playing Xenoblade 3, because I'm not gonna be playing that. I know everyone keeps asking me if I'm picking it up. I'm not picking it up. I've never played Xenoblade before. I don't intend to start.
You're not picking it up? Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not picking up Xenoblade.
Sounds good.
Maybe I will pick up not Xenoblade, Golden Sun again.
Yeah.
And now that you're feeling more optimistic about it, maybe I will be more inspired to keep going with it. Plus I was very into Live Alive and I wasn't gonna pick up another battle heavy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was busy. I do play a lot of other things, unnecessary things. But I feel like stream games are different than
personal games or like you play on the handle. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, because like there's some games that I would never stream, and like there's some games that I would only stream and like probably not play like on my own. So I will go back to it. I'm gonna make it my goal to go back to it.
Sounds good. Every time or sometimes when I work out, I just go on the bike and just play this little thing. It's been super fun. Yeah, for sure. And then lastly, non-Nintendo related, I finished up Far Cry 5 and it's very, very good. And that's it. That's all. I just want to mention that.
I didn't even know. Did I know that you started that? Did you mention that? I don't even remember.
I mean, I started it last year and I ended up finishing it like last week. Yeah,
Okay.
I've been held. Yeah, of course, I've been held up with the other role playing games and everything. But I
It's a
got back
lot.
into
It's a
it
lot.
this
Yeah.
past 2 weeks, and I'm like, this is super fun. Far Cry 5
Good.
is just you just shoot things, and it's just like this is really fun. It's
Is that on
mindless.
Xbox?
It's on Xbox, PlayStation,
You're playing it on
PC.
Xbox?
I've been playing it on PC actually.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually pretty cool because I take my laptop with me to New York City, and I was playing some Far Cry 5 over there as well. So, yeah, super fun. I just go in and just destroy everything, and it's just this cult that took over this kind of middle of nowhere. I forgot which state is in, but middle of U.S. country, and it's just a cult there, and you try to bring back order to this huge land, and it's super. It's funny. It's like serious, but also it doesn't take itself too serious. It's kind of funny.
I like games like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of quests in there. It's like, okay, you just going silly with this game.
Yeah.
Like aliens are in here. There's like
Oh my
movie
gosh.
filmmakers in there, so it's been pretty fun.
That's
Anyways.
awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. It sounds like you've been playing like a very good mix of stuff. Like you have
Yes.
like a puzzle game in there, a JRPG, or whatever Far Cry 5. I don't know, like action. What is that? Action shooter? What is it?
It's a
shooter?
first-person shooter. Yeah. Yeah.
Roguelite. You got everything in there.
I got everything in there. I'm ready to be wrapped up with Torna before Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that will be my life for the next month or so. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. We'll get into this week's news in Nintendo. Couple things here and there. I think to start us off, I don't remember. Do you have Mario Strikers Battle League? Did you end up picking that one up? Okay.
No.
So they announced that it's getting its first free update, and it already did. The update went live a few days later. It added Daisy and Shy Guy as playable characters in the game. I know a lot of people were very happy about Daisy, and
Good.
I thought Shy Guy was a cool one. He looked like he had some cool moves. I think one of them was like based on like a Paper Mario move or something. It added the Desert Ruin Stadium. It added the Knight, KNIGHT, gear set.
Yes.
And so just a whole list of general gameplay improvements. I know you don't have this game.
No.
What do you think of this first free update?
I'm happy that Daisy is in. That's pretty much it. That's literally my opinion about this game.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think
what about you? What do you think?
Oh, it's not enough to make me pick up the game again, for sure.
Yeah.
I played not quite a bit of it, but I played a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how a stadium is really all that enticing to go back to, because it's just a visual change. The stadiums don't do anything different. Like, it's not like there's any difference really between what happens in each stadium. The gear set's pretty cool. I feel like I already, maxed out all the gear that I wanted. The playable characters is cool, but like, I don't know. I would just have to like get some friends together to play it again. And I think a lot of people have moved on from this. I still wish that there was something more substantial. I wish there was some kind of first single player mode, but I don't know. I know a few people who it got them back into playing it. I hope they keep updating it. If it's just characters, if it's just stadiums, things like that. Like, I don't know if that's enough to bring me back into the game. But I do hope that they continue to add enough substantial stuff, that someday I will want to go back and play it again.
I'm not too sure if they're going to add more than just characters and stadiums. Like, just seeing the other Mario sports games, in Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, even though that's Camelot, that's a different studio. I just think this is kind of just the ebb and flow for these types of games. It's just characters, courses, maybe a new mode. Definitely not a single player mode of any kind.
I know.
So
I know. And I feel like which is weird to me, because the other, like, I think Mario Tennis Aces had a single player mode, and I didn't even care. I didn't play it. I didn't try it. I think I tried it and didn't care. So why do I want one for this?
So
I
is
don't
there a
know.
bot mode to this? That's what I'm wondering. Is
Yes.
there
Yeah,
one?
there is. You
Oh,
can play with AI. Yeah.
I feel like it's super, I wouldn't say super simple, but it would be easy enough to just make like a classic mode where you're just going through a tournament series or you're just going
Yeah.
through a league
You
against
kind of
characters.
can, but it's like very shallow and there's not like anything
Okay.
else. Like if you're going to do that, you might as well play online.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
there's
Sounds good.
no difference. There's no difference.
I wish this game had more single player to it and more, because I feel like there's a lot of systems they can build off of a league or whatever. They should really look at like EA Sports and what they're doing with their single player stuff, because it's actually kind of awesome what
Mhm.
they've built over there. Like, you pick a player and you build their stats in their career from college to like professional or whatever, in their games. I wish like you can make it a little bit more personable than just pick
Yeah.
Yoshi. You're gonna play Yoshi with your friends, and it's just like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to play by
And
myself.
I put like probably 500 hours into Rocket League at this point. I can't help but wish that Strikers did some stat keeping that Rocket League did. Like, I know it's maybe a little bit superficial, but like knowing how many goals that you scored, knowing how many
Mm,
matches you won, knowing, you
yeah,
know, am I winning more often with Peach or with Yoshi? Like, just kind of
yeah.
breaking down the stats. How many assists does each character have? How many, just to kind of give me like something that I am building up and working towards. And it's not just like I played a match and there is no
Oh yeah.
record that this ever existed.
There's no like accolades like, okay, you leveled up this and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I wish there was more of that too. Like, Rocket League does a really good job of it. I know
Mhm.
Overwatch does a really good job of it. Just like it's multiplayer and it's solely multiplayer really. But it has some type of progression system with like yourself. Yeah, I wish they had that too. Come on, Nintendo.
Yeah. So I don't know. I saw somebody mention in chat like once Splatoon 3 releases, there's no hope for me to go back to this game
You're
at
done.
all. Like
You're
that's gonna
done.
be my time sink until Pokemon comes out. So I don't even care. They're probably not gonna update it again before September. So I don't know. Maybe I will
Hmm.
sell it because I sold Mario Tennis Aces and I don't normally sell games. I normally keep them forever and ever. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I just like I don't know.
I'm more at liberty to sell games once I'm done with them now than ever
Yeah.
keep them unless it's really important to me. And so if
I
you're
really
or
like them
like,
sitting on my shelf. They look very
I
pretty.
understand that. Yeah, 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 very
But for a
pretty,
game
of
like
course.
this, it's like I got not only did I get my enjoyment out of it and will never play it again, but I don't really care about it that much. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of single player games that I will beat and never play again, but I care about it.
Hmm.
I don't care about this.
Oh, there you go. So you might as well.
Yeah.
You can even just give it a GameStop for just some money or whatever. Like if
Yeah.
you really are not gonna play as much, might as well just get rid of it.
Yeah.
But
Maybe I will. And
anyways,
then if they add something substantial, maybe I will just rebuy it. I don't know.
I
But
just
yeah,
really don't think so at this point.
I
I don't
know.
think that studio is really focused on this game. And I think Nintendo like kind of it has that set expectations, and this is what the expectation is. It's not going to be any more than this. It's
Yeah.
not going to what we're pitching or whatever. So they shouldn't have the obligation to put more effort into it than because of sales or Nintendo or whatever. I want them to make Luigi's Mansion 4 or whatever the next game is going to be. Put their heart and soul in the single player aspect in those games compared to
Mhm.
the sports title. So,
Which is a shame
anyways,
because I feel like there's a place for these sports games, but
yeah,
this is not the era for Nintendo Sports. It's really not.
Yeah, it just seems lackluster. And with tennis, golf, and strikers, I admit, like, was it a good game? Like, it wasn't bad, right?
It was,
What?
yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed what I
Yeah,
played of it.
it's a good game, but it just doesn't have a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
there, I guess.
Medi in chat is making fun of me because he says, I don't want to say I didn't tell you so. He said that he told me so, and he did.
Mm.
But I fed into the hype.
There's a lot of hype around strikers just because of the GameCube and Wii strikers was so good. It was very, very good. And I think it was better in that era because there was a lot of couch co-op going on,
That's
especially
true. That's really
with our
true.
age. We had a
Yeah.
lot of like friends getting together and partying it up. I remember sleepovers and like, we're gonna play strikers till like 2 or 3 in the morning. It's gonna be awesome. But
Maybe I would
like,
like it more
yeah.
if I had that, if it was like from that era. I don't know.
Yeah.
Times are different, Garrett. We're
For
not
sure.
kids anymore.
We're a different age group now, for sure.
Speaking of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, beware. There are copies out in the wild. The game doesn't release until Friday, but people have copies. So beware for 2 reasons. Beware of the leaks, because it's all out there. You're going to run into them. Mute all your words. Stay off of your YouTube with all the thumbnails and whatnot. And then beware of trying to get a copy early on eBay, because people are listing them for like $100 to try to get it early. You're gonna lose your money. Don't do it. I like always hear about people doing it, trying to take the risk. Don't do it. You're better than that.
Guys, it's like another just 5 days. Like,
by the time it gets there, by the time it ships and gets to you, it's gonna be Friday anyway.
So it's interesting to hear people really wanting to get into eBay and actually buy the scalper prices or whatever, these random deals or schemy deals going on eBay.
Sometimes they're not even legit. Sometimes they're scam listings.
I'm sure they are, like a lot of them. I wish this wasn't broke out so early. That's very early.
That is a shame for a game like this. I feel like where people are going to get spoiled, and I feel like that also pressures people to rush through it because there's so much stuff out there already.
Yeah, I'm at to a point where it's like, okay, I'm just going to scroll through Twitter. If I see something, I see something. If I don't, great. I normally don't. Like with spoilers, I'm actually okay. I'm doing pretty good. People know I'm not like the biggest Xenoblade fan, so they don't just like, oh, let's get Garret. And it's just like, nah, it's really okay. If I get spoiled, that's great. Or it's not great, but whatever. But yeah, it's so weird. It's been like street dates so early, like a week early. I remember it was like Thursday or Friday this happened.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you always see, some people get it, because it comes early in the mail, maybe on Wednesday, Thursday, but usually not this early. So just be warned. It's out there.
And this story is connected to 1 and 2. Most definitely, like both of them. So yeah, I'm very interested in how it concludes with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm wondering if it does conclude. Please, Monolith, make something else. I'm begging you. Xenoblade's great. We're kind of done with it though. Let's just go off and do something else.
You're gonna make a lot of people mad with that statement.
That's okay. They're used to it with me.
Breaking news: 3 new games.
Oh, no.
Not Kirby. 3 new games have been added to Nintendo Switch Online. A couple days ago. Fighter's History. It's like a fighting game, I guess.
It is literally like a Street Fighter ripoff.
Yeah, it looks just like Street Fighter. I think it's a Street Fighter knockoff. Kirby's Avalanche, which I could have sworn was already on the service. It's like a puzzle game. And I think Nintendo made this one up. Diva Story 6, Imperial of Nearsardia.
What is it on? Is it on SNES or NES?
It's on NES. So this was a
How are there
Japanese
6 of them?
exclusive game, and
My
they
gosh.
didn't even translate it. It's in Japanese. So instead of telling us anything about the game in this trailer, Nintendo said if you put in the passcode 6 Japanese characters, you can play this mini game where you're like, it's kind of like one of those like side-scrolling shooters or something.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
That's
no, I've
the
seen that,
only
yeah.
thing they had to say. They didn't have anything to say about the actual game itself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
know
because when
Japanese, go try it out.
they're showing off the game, it's literally like a side-scrolling shooter of some kind,
But that's
right?
not the actual game. That's the mini game that you can play if you input some
And
characters.
they advertise that in their video that it's
because the game's not translated.
This is so bad. What are they doing? What is Nintendo doing? Like,
I think I would rather them just like only put 2 games on instead of doing that.
Yeah, don't release this. Because my
God.
understanding of this game was it was a side-scrolling shooter. That's what I saw in the video. I was like, okay, it's another one of those. But when I hear this, it's just like, what are you doing, Nintendo? You're not scraping the bottom of the barrel here. You've got other games you can put on the stupid
But it
service.
really begs the question, like, I guess they really can't put on our Mario RPG. Like,
I guess
is
so,
that really
you know.
held that captive that they can't do that? They really can't put Chrono Trigger on. They really can't put like
Earthbound. Like, they
Earthbound is on it. Earthbound finally made it.
Okay.
They can't get like Secret of Evermore, Illusion of Gaia, like all these other RPGs. Like they really can't get these.
Yeah, apparently not. Well, okay, so
These games must be locked up so tight. Like,
so Square Enix is a fickle company. I wonder how much they would really share with Nintendo in terms of the Nintendo Switch online service and what like they're even cringy as well with their own games with like the pixel remasters, you know? Like it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna put it only on Steam and mobile. And it's just like, guys, come on, like when is the right time?
Yeah, I know it's up to Square. I know that it's probably up to Nintendo paying them, and Nintendo probably doesn't want to do it. But that's what I mean. Like, they would rather put out Deva Story 6 Imperial of Nersardia that's not even in English.
It's so bad.
Than to pay up and get Mario RPG. Like, what?
I not even pay up. Just don't release this stupid third game. Don't do what you've been streaming, the frog game. Like that would have been much better than this. So
yeah, they probably and that's the thing with this. They're showing that they don't even need to translate it. They can just stick it on in Japanese. So just stick on Frog Bell in Japanese. Like, I don't know.
This honestly feels like Xbox Live with gold, like that level right now. Because the Xbox games with gold is like the games are so bad now. People are not talking about it. Nintendo just stooped to that level with this third game. It's just like, what are you doing? Okay, so focus on just focus on the Genesis and N64. You're doing an okay job there. Have GB and GBA come out like pretty soon, or else I'm gonna lose patience with this stuff because Diva Story 6 is no, like I just don't like it at all.
Yep. In better news, the most exciting news of the week, Pokemon is collaborating with Squishmallows. Have you heard of Squishmallows, Garrett?
No, I haven't, but this
you need
sounds
to get
awesome.
Fiona a Squishmallow. It is not just any stuffed animal. It is so squishy and so cozy, and they're like collectibles. They're like the new Beanie Babies. Kids, college age girls, like everybody loves Squishmallows. I have 2 of them. I bought one and I said, this is going to be the only Squishmallow I ever get. I'm not going to turn into one of those girls that has a bed full of Squishmallows. And then I was at Hallmark and I saw a really cute cat one with a floral headband. And I said, okay, I will only get 2 Squishmallows. That's all I'm going to get. I'm never going to buy any more. And now Pokemon is collaborating with Squishmallows. They announced a Pikachu and a Gengar Squishmallow to start.
Gengar
And
is an interesting one, but
the
okay.
Gengar one is so cute. So I'm going to have 3
really?
Squishmallows. I'm going to get the Gengar one, and then I'm not going to get any more ever again. And it's possibly leaked that Togepi and Snorlax will be the next ones. So I guess they're kind of sticking to Gen 1 here. I don't know. But they will likely be able to be pre-ordered. They will likely be able to be ordered on the Pokemon Center website this fall. That's what people are saying.
Interesting. Yeah,
I
didn't
it
know.
It doesn't have to be Pokemon. You should get Fiona. Like, what's her favorite animal?
Oh, it's a corgi. Like,
they
we're
absolutely
really
have corgi ones. I know for sure they do. You should get her a corgi Squishmallow. She will love it.
They look really cute. Yeah,
they're so cute, and like I can't even describe to you how like squishy and soft they are. Like, it is not like any other stuffed animal I have ever felt. Like, they make really good pillows.
So in total, now you have 2 or 3?
I have 2, and then I'm gonna get Gengar, and that's gonna be it.
You sure? What if? Okay, so I'm gonna try to pitch out some games.
Unless they do
ones.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, it's game over for you. That's the thing.
That would be so bad. That would be so bad.
Oh man. Yeah,
yes,
I think
I'm very excited.
I think that Animal Crossing would be the sweet spot for everyone. Cool.
Pokemon's a good one too, though. The Pokemon ones, because I feel like you're hitting 2 audiences of mega collectors. Pokemon has a ton of mega collectors who need all of the Pokemon merch.
Yeah.
These Squishmallow collectors, it's insane.
Oh, really?
Because I only know about this because like of the demographic that I work with is elementary age students. And they were impossible to get for the Christmas season this past year. Like, you could not forget the one that you wanted. Really? You couldn't get any Squishmallows. So that's going to probably be the case again for these Pokemon ones. Undertale, I might for Undertale. I don't know.
Might for Undertale. Okay, sounds good. Squishmallows. I guess I'm out of touch because I never heard of this term.
It's the new Beanie Baby.
When I looked it up, I'm like, I've seen those before in store. They're
like egg-shaped.
Yeah, egg-shaped. I wanted a boba tea one. There was a cute boba tea one.
Yes.
And it had a little dimples and everything. It looked very cute. Yeah.
Get one for Fiona and get one for yourself, and you will be happy for the rest of your life. Trust me.
Sounds good.
Nintendo reminded us this past week that Wii U and 3DS eShops will soon be discontinued. I don't know why they said this. I guess because we're almost a month out at this point. Yeah, came out randomly. So as a reminder for all of us, August 29th, you will no longer be able to add funds with eShop cards. You already can't add funds with a credit card anymore. That's done. So August 29th, you can't add funds at all anymore. And then March 27th, my birthday, there were no more purchases ever. Like, you can't purchase anything else. Like, even if you have funds, you can't purchase anymore. You'll still be able to download purchased games for the foreseeable future after that. So, like, if you get a new 3DS and you need to re-download some things, you'll still be able to do that for the time being after that.
Yeah, this kind of sucks, but, you know, it makes sense in a way. They've been doing this for a while now. Well, a while meaning Wii and now Wii U and 3DS. And I think Sony has the same problem. Xbox doesn't really have the same problem. Like, I don't know about going back to the 360 or original Xbox and accessing those stores, but they've been doing a better job of preserving their games and like keeping it in all one ecosystem. But yeah, this kind of sucks. But guys, it's okay. You can. There's a little thing called pirates, you know. We can be we can be pirates, like, no joke. There's a lot of great websites out there that I won't tell you right now. There's a lot of great ones though, and so you just DM me on Twitter or Discord. I will show you the path. I'll show you the right direction. It's too easy. It really is too easy at this point. But for 3DS, it kind of sucks because there's a lot of great games in there, and it's going to be a lot of them are not going to be translated over to Switch. I feel like a lot of more Wii U games and like the classic titles and Wii games can be translated over to Switch pretty well. Been ported over a lot. 3DS exclusive games, not so much. So kind of sucks it being lost in the ether, especially a lot of JRPGs in there. But just do crimes and it's okay.
Do crimes. Hashtag do crimes. Camelot has updated its official website with Golden Sun artwork, Garrett.
That's
artwork featuring Isaac and various elemental Jinn have appeared on their website. People are wondering, are they just paying respects to one of their franchises, or are they teasing that something is to come?
I am looking up this right now.
I think it's on their Japanese website.
They're Japanese. Okay, hold on. Let me look at Golden Sun artwork, and I'm sure the news will pop up. Well, actually, I literally get Golden Suns.
Camelot.co.jp.
Okay, Camelot.co.jp. All right, I'm looking this stuff up. Let's see if it actually goes to... Okay, cool. Let me translate it to English. It's actually pretty hard to navigate this website. Oh, there it is. There he is.
Yep. There he is.
It looks like a history kind of thing, founded in April 1994. Okay. those are the two artworks right there. It looks pretty good, actually. No joke.
And I noticed there's not like really any other art. Like I kind of imagine that it would be along with their other games or franchises, but that doesn't even really seem to be the case. There's not that much else here.
The front page is literally the Golden Sun, and that's Isaac, right?
That's Isaac.
One of the main characters, and that's a Jinn. That's like a water Jinn. So, and that's front page, and you try to click anywhere else. Like, I don't know if you go to different things, but their front page is those two art pieces. Interesting. Okay, so I don't think that warrants going to be a new remake of some kind, but it's interesting to say
if you click on their games page, it looks like I think that's one of the other elemental Jinns on the top, and then they have a list of all of their games, most of them being sports games. I think the vast majority of their non-Golden Sun games, not all of them, but a lot of them are Mario Sports. Then you got like Shining Force at the bottom.
Yeah, Shining Force, they actually started it, and it's pretty good.
There are way more Shining Force games than I ever thought.
Oh, let me tell you, I've been in the RPG cave for a while now. Ryan is the number one Shining Force fan. It is
I did not know there were this many games.
It is the darkest tactical role-playing rabbit hole I've ever seen in my life. I did not know there were like 30 or 40 Shining Force games.
So their first game was Shining in the Darkness, and then shortly after that, the Shining Force series.
Yeah, Shining Force series.
So it's not even like they are using that game as the poster child of their website.
That's Sega, though. Sega kind of owns that franchise.
Oh, so I didn't know
that's their IP. That's why they probably don't show it off. So once they got over to Nintendo, the two things that they really focused on were the sports games and then Golden Sun. Golden Sun is their sole RPG for Nintendo.
Got it.
That's not a sports game. So there you go. Yeah.
I don't think there's much to read into here.
Not too much to read into it, for sure. Yeah.
But it would be cool. It would be cool.
Maybe a GBA. Come on, I'm sure they have the lineup. They're locked and loaded. They're just ready to go to what's the next leaked of NES games that they probably have. Diva Story 7.
We got Isaac as a assist trophy in Smash. Yay!
They put everything in Smash. They literally they think of everything that they could possibly put in Smash. They put in Smash. So, anyways.
That's going to do it for this week's news. Now on to Shack questions directly from you. Starting with a question from Yarden about Xenoblade. He says, sad to report that after a fair amount of time, I can't seem to get into Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't know what it is. The pacing, the battle system, I love the setting, and the story is very engaging so far. My question is, are Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and potentially 3 quite different than 1? Yarden, it's not just you.
Oh my goodness. Yarden, I'm afraid to say you probably would not like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and even 3 if you're not in if it's enough to bother you to get thrown out of the first one. It's gonna be, I think, rougher on 2 for you. I don't know about 3 because we haven't played it yet. Xenoblade Chronicles, the series, has that pacing. Always have that automatic battle pacing. I think a lot of people get thrown off by it unless you are really into it. And I like it just because it's automatic, and then there's some strategy around it. As you can tell, my experience with 2, I put it down to super easy difficulty to just get by. I'm just like, I'm pressing the buttons that I can, and then
That's not going to help with the pacing, though.
It's interesting if you're into the story. I guess the pacing can be a little bit off if you're still into the story. I feel like the story itself is very engaging on the first one. But yeah.
So
I would
if
say
he is
2
finding
and
the
3
story engaging, but not the pacing and the battle system, would it behoove him to just watch all the cutscenes and story on YouTube?
I mean, if you're wanting to be invested into it, sure. But I don't know, like if you're not into the game at that point, like I guess I would not get the second or third game if you're not feeling it on the first one. That's just
You're
my
to play
opinion.
Live Alive instead.
Play Live Alive. Play other RPGs. There's plenty of other games. I know a lot of people that don't like Xenoblade at all. Like they're RPG fans hardcore, and it's like I don't like Xenoblade. And it's like
There's nothing wrong with that.
I understand. So it's okay. You're breaking my heart, but it's okay.
Yeah, Yarden's copy of Live Alive is lost in transit. So
apparently.
Very sorry to hear that. G-Man wants to know, best RPG so far this year. Why is it the best? I want to say Live Alive. It probably is. But I would be remiss not to shout out Chrono Cross for the Switch.
Chrono Cross?
Chrono Cross.
Look at
He's going
Frisk.
to bring down that lamp. You're going to watch him. He's going to bring down that lamp because he's bored.
It's going to be hilarious too. Anyways, I played like a few current RPGs this year, but actually not too much. But the one that's really got its hooks in me was Nobody Saves the World.
I remember that.
Yeah, the smaller indie, and it's technically a role-playing game by Drinkbox Studios. It's currently my game of the year right now. And like if you have Game Pass, like go and try it out. It's super fun. It's like kind of just this top-down, side-scrolling action role-playing game where you take many different forms, and it's hilarious. And there's so much strategy behind it. It has its own charm. I really enjoy it. So. What's the upcoming Switch games you're looking for? I am looking for, of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope, Splatoon 3, definitely. And I think Pokemon Violet, and yeah, whatever the other one is. That's the other one I'm most excited about. You're making sure Frisk doesn't destroy your display right now.
Yeah. Notice he's not allowed to go on those shelves. Yeah, I either Live Alive or Chrono Cross for me. I am looking forward to Splatoon 3. I think I wrote it down. I need to keep like a better list of these games because I feel like there's
Because you had
so many
smaller
good ones.
games that that you talked about too.
Okay, here
Was
are the
there like a
games that
wholesome game? Okay.
I'm getting for the rest of the year. I'm probably gonna get. I mean, I'm thinking about getting Cult of the Lamb. I might just watch my friend Mary play it, but I might get it.
Okay.
It comes out August 11th. I'm definitely getting Blossom Tales 2, coming out August
Mhm.
16th. I'm gonna be getting The Last of Us remake later in the year, like
Okay.
when it gets like maybe a discount or something.
You haven't
Um,
played the first one, like,
I
right?
have played. I've played like at least half of the first one.
Oh, okay. So it's easily justified that you get the
Yeah.
remake part. You just wait for remake part 1 and play that one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Because I don't have a copy of it right now. But I know like what happens in the game, and I know what happens in the second one. But like, I feel like I should buy it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be getting Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's a free to play Switch game. Splatoon 3, Tunic, maybe. Actually, no, I
Tunic.
probably don't need to get Tunic because I'm gonna have Game Pass now for the Xbox.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what
Try
I'm
it
doing with
out.
Tunic. And then Pokemon Scarlet.
Yes.
And
Scarlet
then
and Violet.
Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals does not have a date right now, but if it still comes
Mhm.
out in 2022, I will be excited for that one as well.
Nice. Nice. The other non-Switch game actually it is technically for Switch, but I don't really recognize it as for Switch. Hogwarts Legacy. I'm very excited for that game. I can't believe it's getting on Switch. But yeah, I'll probably play on Xbox or PC or something. I love Harry Potter, so yeah, definitely into it.
I wonder if I think that game will be good. It looks pretty good. Looks exciting.
It looks like it captured the Harry Potter universe spirit
The
very
Harry
well.
Potter game that we have been wanting since
Ever.
the early 2000s.
Oh, what did he do?
I don't know. I heard something.
I heard something drop. Oh no.
Delvin wants to know, what do you think is the most recognizable sound in gaming? Not a song, just a sound. He thinks it might be the waka 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 sound that Pac-Man makes as he moves around the board. It's a
That's
good
a good
question,
one.
Delvin. It's a good question.
Yeah. The first thing, Mario coin sound.
I think that's a contender.
That's an instant one for me. The other one is the Metal Gear Solid.
I was
1.
thinking that. Yes. Yeah.
The alarm,
I've never
right?
played Metal Gear, but that is so recognizable.
Yeah,
The like, dude, with the
Yeah. exclamation. The
Yeah.
exclamation mark and everything.
So I mean, I feel like that's very recognizable to like people like us. Would that be like recognizable to like the general population? Like, I feel like the general population of humans would recognize the waka 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 waka
Yeah, probably
or the
not.
Mario coin sound.
It's really funny because I actually my wife watches a lot of Chinese shows. And they borrow a lot of sounds. They don't have like really copyright laws in China, so they just borrow a lot of sounds and everywhere. They bring over the Xbox achievement sound, the PlayStation trophy sound, the Metal Gear Solid 1 sound is definitely there, and the Mario
That's so
coin
funny.
sound.
Do you like look up every time you hear that?
I was like, I know that sound. It's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, I guess, yeah. What else? I mean, any Zelda sounds that like, other than
the like
music,
do do do
really.
do.
The do 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 do, of course. Yeah,
that's like probably the most common Zelda one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Mario, like when he gets a mushroom, like the da 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 da.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to make it a sound. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The mushroom one is definitely
the mushroom
recognizable
sound
as well.
I
still think the coin one is probably the most like I think
probably.
everyone would get that one.
I think so.
100%.
That would be a cool like I don't know, like a Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon type. You know how like they go around, like they interview people on the streets. Like that would be a cool one. Like, hey, do you know this sound? Do you know this sound? And it's like, see how many people know.
It's like, no, what's
like, take
that
what
from?
we think are the most common ones and see how many are recognized.
Yeah.
but like to a general population, like not to gamers, like to see like people off the street.
And Garret said Hadouken from Street
That'd be
Fighter
a good
2.
one. Yeah.
That's a good one too.
I think I think of like a lot of like normal people would recognize that, but maybe not know what it's from.
And then Fatality from Mortal Kombat. That's a big one too. Yeah.
What about like a console sound, like the GameCube startup sound, or like the Sega startup sound?
Yeah, GameCube one is a big one. I would say PlayStation is a big one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
good question, Delvin. I like that. I'm gonna try to think of some more. Kyle the Pug wants to know if you can invite any Nintendo character to your podcast, who would you invite? How would they make the show better? I know who I would invite, Garret.
Who would you invite?
I would invite Isabel because she would be amazing at like rounding up all the news of the week for us.
Oh, they could do the work for us. That would be awesome.
She would do it. She knows all the news that went on.
I would think
she has broadcasting skills.
That's true. And the other one, wait, the Luigi's Mansion old guy. What's his name?
Oh, Egad.
Egad, yeah, no, he would definitely be like in collaboration with Isabel and like figure out all the news going on. And he talks on and on and on.
Yeah, he would be a good podcaster.
He would be a great podcaster.
Yes,
yes. That's my pick is Egad.
I like it.
Mention.
So we'll add those two. Well, they'll be on next week. And then finally, Ghost Days 99 wants to know our least favorite console Zelda game that we've played.
I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, I'm interested in your question, or like your answer first.
I'm interested in your answer because how many have you played? 2, 3? Console.
I mean, console. Well, define console. Like it's
not handheld.
Really? It's a handheld console. Like that. Okay, come on. It has to.
I feel like he specified console Zelda game instead of just.
So it's not Zelda CD.
Zelda game.
I feel like excluding Zelda CD games then, right?
What do you mean Zelda CD games? What's a Zelda CD game?
Right? That was on the PC. The
CDI.
Yeah, the CDI.
That was a console. That was the really? Philips CDI. Wait, do you not know about the history of the Philips CDI, Garret?
I really don't care. So I think that's why I don't know.
It was a console. It did play CDs, but the reason why that happened was because of the deal that was between Nintendo and PlayStation back in the 90s that fell through, that they wanted to make a console that played CDs and they were supposed to work together, and it fell through, and Nintendo was like, screw you, Sony, we're going to go to Philips. We're going to let them make some Zelda games to put on their CD system. And then never again did they ever want to work with somebody because of what occurred.
That was, trash fire. So I knew the Sony and Nintendo fiasco.
Yeah, well, that's why we got the CDI games and the Hotel Mario game.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, if we're just doing home console, I'm interested in your answer first.
It's close between either Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. I feel like because I recently played Skyward Sword last year, the HD version, I feel like that's very like in my mind lately, and I feel like I have better memories of it now because of the remake. I'm not saying that I dislike Twilight Princess, but all the other console Zelda games are just so good that one of them has to be last, so it would probably be Twilight Princess.
Yeah, one of them
has too long. It's way too long. There's way too much nonsense. I love the dungeons, but the game's it's too much. It's way too much.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, wait, Zelda 1 and 2 are console games. I forgot about those. Oh my god, I literally forgot about those. Never mind, Zelda 2.
Zelda 2 is like down there.
Never mind, I forgot about those.
It just hasn't aged nicely at all. I think.
I
for Zelda
forgot.
2.
I forgot about Zelda 1 and 2. I'm sorry.
I have played, in terms of home console, main console. I played Link to the Past. I played Ocarina of Time, and I played Breath of the Wild. Those were the 3 that I played. And I have to say, Ocarina of Time, even though I don't dislike it, it's a good game.
Wait, Ocarina, Breath of the Wild, and what?
Link to the Past.
A Link to the Past. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
ranking would be Link to the Past is number
Oh.
1, Breath of the Wild is number 2, and Ocarina of Time's number 3.
Wow.
If I had to rank those. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's really hard because I love all 3 of those. And that kind of breaks my heart to say I would also pick Ocarina of Time as the worst out of those 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not a bad game at all. I like the game. It's just that's just how the cookie crumbles. If it
I also
boiled
forgot
down to
about
those 3 games.
I also forgot about Four Swords Adventures, which I have not finished.
Mm,
I still think Zelda 2 because I
is
forgot
down
about that
there.
one. Yeah.
If we include handheld games, I have played the Spirit Tracks, the DS ones. They were pretty rough.
You played Zelda games that I haven't played.
Yeah, I played those 2 DS Zelda games. I like the first one more than the second one, so I'm gonna have to say Spirit Tracks is like probably my least favorite
I think that's
Zelda
valid.
game.
I have to play those, but I'm like not that excited to play them.
I know. Well,
I
the
gotta
thing
do it.
is, like, for you, if you want to stream it, it's gonna be rough. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you
It's
can
gonna
stream
be on
it.
the Wii U.
Okay, they're playable on Wii U. Okay, yeah, that's true. But yeah, they're not the best.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of any spin-off games. Like Link's Crossbow Training, Hyrule Warriors 1.
I don't know. Like, do you count those?
For questions like this, I don't.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the mainline Zelda stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
Interesting question.
Anyways, yeah. Well, that is going to do it for this week's episode of Nintendo Shack Podcast. Thank you for bearing with us for it being a few days late when it's pops up on your feed. And the plan will still be to do a show on Thursday, right, Garrett?
That's what I'm thinking.
So any news that happens, we will talk about it. Hopefully we have some kind of exciting Nintendo news for this week. Otherwise, I know a lot of people are getting excited, for Xenoblade Chronicles. So review scores should be up by then. So we'll be able to take a look at the review scores and see kind of what people are saying about it without spoilers. And I'll keep playing. I'm going to try to get to Golden Sun. We'll see what I played this week. And we'll chat about some more stuff.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should do some type of like Nintendo year mid review type of deal where we just like go through all the Nintendo games that have been released this year, what we think about it, and then like what's the upcoming Nintendo games for the rest of the year and what's our hype level with that.
Yeah. We're already we're more than halfway at this point. Like that's crazy to think that we're already more than halfway through the year.
Almost the month of August. Can you believe that? You're ready to go back to work, Rebecca?
No, don't say it. You're not allowed to say that word. Stop.
I'm going.
My mom was a teacher, and the word school used to be banned from our house during the summertime. You were not allowed to say school. It's the S word. You're not allowed to say it.
My mom is very similar. He's like, oh no, it's August, about that time again. So yeah, I understand.
They would start playing the back to school ads earlier and earlier each year.
Oh my gosh, I went to Costco this past week. They had Halloween costumes are ready to go already.
Halloween? Yeah. Like I know that's the next like big holiday, but we have August and September to get through, and October. It's not even until the end of the month.
I know.
I love
it.
Halloween,
kind of scared. Yeah, it's a pretty good holiday, but yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw it in Costco. I'm like, it's summer still. Don't do this.
Oh boy. All right, then we will see you later this week, Koopalings, for the next episode of the Nintendo Shack Podcast. Good night, Koopalings.
Bye-bye.